While browsing websites, you may have noticed the common practice of stacking cards horizontally. While this works fine for a limited number of cards, it becomes impractical when dealing with multiple cards. Simply piling cards on top of one another is not a solution. So, what's the alternative? Well, how about using a card slider? A card slider is a modern and elegant layout feature that allows users to browse multiple pieces of content within a specified width by sliding through the cards. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into creating this responsive card slider with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, adding a sleek, interactive touch to showcase content on your website. So, to create a card slider, we're going to use the Swiper.js library. To add Swiper.js to our project, we'll start by adding its CSS CDN link into our head tag. Then we'll add its JavaScript CDN link before the closing body tag. And that's it, we've got Swiper.js integrated into our project. Now, in our HTML file, we'll start by creating a section tag with the ID of cards. This section will act as the main container for all the content for the slider. Inside this section tag, we'll include a heading 2 tag to represent the main title. Likewise, we'll add another div element with the class main content. Next, since we're using Swiper.js, we just need to use its default HTML structure for the slider to work. We can find the HTML layout in its documentation, and then easily copy and paste it into our HTML within a div with the class main content. After we finish setting up basic HTML structure for Swiper.js, we can start adding content to the slides. To do this, we will place slide content inside a div with the class SwiperSlide. Within this div, we'll create another with the class card content. Inside this div, we'll first add an image. Then for the text, we'll create a div with the class card title, and inside it, we'll place a heading 4 tag and a paragraph tag. Now that we've created our first slide, adding more slide content is simple. All you need to do is copy the div element with the class card content. Similarly, to include more slide items, you can duplicate the div with the class SwiperSlide. Next, to make the slider functional, we need to initialize Swiper.js. For this, we'll need to head back to the official documentation to find the initialization code. Once we've got that, we can just copy and paste it into our script.js file. After that, we'll clean up the code a bit by removing some extra parameters that we don't need, like the direction and scroll bar settings. Then, we'll add in some required parameters provided by the Swiper.js library. Next, we need to specify the number of slide items that will be visible at a time. We can do this by setting the slides per view parameter. For now, I'm going to set it to 1. Also, we can add some space between the slides by using the space between parameter, which I'll set to 30. With that, we've completed the basic setup of Swiper.js. Next, we'll move on to adding navigation buttons and pagination. Customizing the navigation buttons is straightforward with Swiper.js. To do this, we'll update the navigation parameters. First, for the nextl parameter, we'll specify the class nextArrowBTN. Likewise, for the prevl parameter, we'll specify the class prevArrowBTN. Now that we've specified the navigation parameters in our script file, it's time to implement the navigation buttons. To do this, we'll add a div element with the class we specified in the prevl parameter, which is prevArrowBTN. Similarly, we'll also need to add an icon for our navigation button. To do that, we'll search for a chevron icon and place it inside the div with the prevArrowBTN class. Similarly, for the next arrow button, we'll specify a div with the class we used in the nextl parameter, which is nextArrowBTN class. Just like with the previous button, we'll grab the relevant chevron icon for the next button and place it inside the div with the nextArrowBTN class. Now that we've added our custom next and previous buttons for the slider, let's move on to adding custom pagination. To do this, we'll head to the demo section where we can find the custom pagination example. From there, we'll grab the code for the pagination parameter and paste it into our initialization code. Finally, to make our pagination functional, we'll need to create a div in our HTML file that matches the class or ID specified in the pagination parameter. This will link the pagination functionality to the visual elements on the page, ensuring the slider's pagination works as expected. Now that we've successfully added pagination and navigation functionality to our slider, let's move on to making it responsive. Swiper.js provides a handy parameter called breakpoints, which allows us to define different settings for various screen sizes. We'll start by targeting screen sizes larger than 576 pixels. In this case, we'll set slides per view to 2 and remove the space between parameter. Next, we'll add breakpoint on screens larger than 768 pixels. Here, we'll update the parameter slides per view to 3 and space between to 30. Now that we've completed the HTML and JS sections, let's move on to the CSS. For this project, I've already imported the Poppins font, set up default styles for global and pseudo elements, applied the Poppins font to the body, and added a radial gradient for the background. First, we'll set the main content class to position relative. Next, for the section with the ID of cards, we'll apply a max width of 1070 pixels. The padding will be set to 0 for the top and bottom, and 2 rem for the left and right. The margin will be 2 rem for the top and bottom, and 0 for the sides. Additionally, we'll ensure the section has a min height of 100 VH to cover the full viewport height. Moving on to the card styling, we'll target the card content class. We'll apply a semi-transparent background color, creating a subtle layered effect. Next, we'll set the cursor to pointer to indicate interactivity. The text will be centered. Similarly, the padding will be set to 3 rem on the top and bottom and 0 on the sides. Finally, we'll add a 5px border radius to give the card smooth, rounded corners. For the image inside the card, we'll make it circular by setting the border radius to 50%. The width and height will both be set to 150px. We'll use margin 0 auto to center it horizontally. Additionally, we'll add a 5px solid white border for a clean, polished look. Similarly, the text inside the div with the class card title will have padding top 2 rem. Now that we've finished styling the card component, let's style our navigation buttons. For this, we'll target the elements with the classes prev_btn and next_btn. First, we'll apply transform translate y-50% to center the buttons vertically. We'll also set top 50% to position their top edge at the midpoint of the container. Next, we will set the buttons position to absolute and a z-index of 1000 to keep them above other elements. For the button styling, we'll start by setting a 1-pixel solid white border and a white icon color. The background will be set to transparent. We'll give the buttons a font size of 0.80 rem and center the text with text align center. The cursor will change to pointer to indicate interactivity. The buttons will be displayed as block, with both the width and height set to 2.75 rem. We'll also apply a line height of 2.625 rem to vertically center the content. To make the buttons rounded, we'll use a border radius of 100%. For a smooth hover effect, we'll set a 0.5-second transition for all properties. Finally, since the buttons will only appear on hover, we'll set their opacity to 0 initially. Now that we've initially hidden the navigation buttons, we want to enhance the user experience by making them visible when the user hovers over the div with the main content class. To achieve this, we'll first target the prev_btn class, specifying the hover state on the main content section. Then, we'll apply the same styling to the next_btn class. By setting the opacity to 1, we ensure that the buttons smoothly fade in as users hover over the main content area. Next, we'll adjust the positioning of our navigation buttons to sit slightly outside the main content area. To do this, we'll start by targeting the prev arrow btn class and setting the left property to -18 pixels. Similarly, for the next arrow btn class, we'll set the right property to -18 pixels, shifting it 18 pixels to the right. These adjustments will position the navigation buttons 18 pixels outside the main container. Now that we've completed the styling for the slider navigation buttons, let's move on to positioning and styling the pagination component. First, we'll set the pagination's position to static, allowing it to follow the default document flow. Likewise, we'll add padding top 20 pixels, giving it a bit of space above the pagination section. Next, we'll style each pagination indicator by targeting the swiper pagination bullet class. We'll start by setting the background color to white. Both the height and width will be set to 10 px. To make the indicators fully rounded, we'll apply a border radius of 100%. Also, we'll set the opacity to 1, ensuring the indicators are fully visible. Now, to clearly differentiate the active pagination indicator, we'll target the swiper pagination bullet active class. First, we'll increase the width to 22 pixels, making the active indicator wider and more noticeable compared to the default bullets. Next, we'll modify the border radius to 7 px, giving the indicator slightly rounded corners. To ensure the active indicator stands out visually, we'll apply a vibrant red-orange background color. With that, we've wrapped up our tutorial on creating a visually appealing, fully responsive card slider using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This card slider is perfect for showcasing content, with custom navigation and pagination features that enhance the user experience. If you have any questions about the tutorial or want to share your thoughts, feel free to drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials.